All right, ladies and gents, welcome back to our live coverage here of the DreamHack Open Qualifiers between Endpoint and Movistar riders. First map went convincingly to Endpoint in the end. I believe it was 16-6 on train. I just ate way too fast, which is a massive mistake before casting. Oh, I feel bloated as hell. But we're gonna persevere and push through this. And I tell you what, if Endpoint play anything like they did in train, this is gonna be over real quick. It is Endpoint's choice of map, of course. That should be mentioned. Sorry, Movistar's choice of map, pardon me. That should be mentioned. But this does also mean that Endpoint can start on the CT side. So, may be able to push up a fair dosage of rounds. Now, this looks like it could actually be a fake. As Robin gets the first two. And now they come through on the connector side, and it's a complete massacre. Just 2 kills the way of Movistar. They sent 2 players out aggressively, and Robin just dealt with them, headshotting them both down. And then the other 3 were so disjointed that they were pushing through connector like a good 5 or 10 seconds afterwards. It was a really strange moment. I didn't see from Robin's perspective if maybe he got the drop on them peeking through on Monster. But yeah, that looked pretty awkward. Par for the course of how this game has gone so far, I would suppose, but lots of grenade damage from the Molotov out onto playgrounds. Whoever tossed that is laughing their way to the bank in terms of ADR. I think it may have been Robin, who also picked up 3 kills in the first round, so he is loving it right now. Everyone barring Alex is feeling the scars of war at this stage in the round, and only a very short period of time through as they look to try and embark on their journeys towards bathroom. Crucial hiding behind the smoke with an MP9 has Robin watching his back from long, and they have both chipped in for kills. This should be falling into place nicely for Endpoint. The question now is, can they stay out of this one in terms of casualties? And the answer is no. Slight gap in the smoke affords Alex the chance. And with a picked up MP9, things could get a little bit sketchy, especially if Shox had have landed that scout, or the Deagle, pardon me, headshot. Flamesy, big MP9 kill. That's the bomb that drops down alongside it. Shot from Alex, but it really shouldn't be too much else to speak about from Movistar's perspective. That flick is sick. And that's going to be a post plant. So out of nowhere, out of thin air, somehow this round has yielded 3 kills and a bomb plant for Movistar riders. After the first 2 kills went the way of Endpoint, up against by and large just pistols and nothing else. That is a huge W if you're Movistar riders. That's a great result. If you're Endpoint, you're pretty disappointed with that outcome. I'm still somewhat perplexed as to what the hell just happened. But that is the power of the Desert Eagle. It really can change rounds in a matter of seconds. Again, similar to what I said in the previous map, those kind of rounds are the ones that can catch up with you in a few rounds' time. If you're Endpoint and you end up conceding here, 3 players, $50 or below, could be a very significant, painful blow. They do concede. Good timing on the boost. The real fortunate to not get outright headshot. It looked like it was on his head. And now they will be smoking and pushing, and Mighty Max is not expecting that aggression whatsoever. He was caught in 2 minds. Also, a flashbang accompanies the kill. And Endpoint, knowing that their economy is in the bin, they try to back off and save. And if Robin and Crucial can stay alive, they could feasibly drop a couple of weapons across to their teammates. What crosshair is Flames on? He is on Cyan, light blue. He's got the crosshair dot as well. So 2-1. Those save guns do come into effect, so Crucial and Robin can drop to their teammates. Does mean that we might see a lack of grenades on the side of Endpoint. You can see that with Robin's drop, he can only get the smoke. But apart from that, honestly, it's really not too bad. Thanks for the follows, by the way, guys. Appreciate that. We'll have plenty more CS on the channel over the next few days as the tournament really heats up. We'll have some elimination matches, some qualifying matches. 2 best of 3s per day on the channel. I think the 25th is only 1 best of 3. Flamesy, that aggression is huge. Now, unfortunately, Surreal went for the same idea, and he was punished. That grenade does minimal damage, and a Molotov is there to greet Flamesy, so he has to back away. Mighty Max using his smoke just to extinguish the molly that was tossed onto barrels. The Ts are getting information, and they're getting some utility out of the CTs. This does all add up. It's the 2 flashbangs in 55 seconds. 1 flash has been tossed in to peek down Monster. Nobody home. But that is the kind of information that if you peek, you can go for a gamble stack now upon A. Keep Mighty Max alone on the B site. Crucial through the smoke, gets both. And Steel slightly too slow on the response. He can't save his teammates, and he can't save himself. Alex, last man, pushes in with the bomb. He knows Robin is tight left. Robin goes out for the timing peak, and that is just aggression from Crucial paying out dividends. They needed that kind of play with a lack of grenades and firepower, and my god did they get it. Movistar will be reeling after that round. They can't go straight back into their weapons, of course, but it's more like the lack of finances behind the weapons that's going to be a bit of an issue and a bit of a caveat next to that statement. But a great play from Crucial. Biding his time, using that smoke. Long control is the order of play on Movistar Riders, and they will be getting it by and large for free. There's no one interested on Endpoint, no one even on the long side of bathrooms. Playing similar positions to that previous round. Robin just shoulder peeking. The second he sees someone, he will throw that smoke down and back away. May not be needed. Decides to go for it anyway. And that's a pretty solid smoke, actually, because it messes with the T's minds as to whether he's hiding between those 2 smokes. They have to send somebody out to deal with that. Crucial, who was in a similar position last round, has now been found and fragged by Shox, who keeps going forward. Good flick to the head of Robin. 2 casualties. Molotov misses, but Shox will not. A 3rd kill, a 3rd entry. And that opens up business for the A side. Post-plant will favor Movistar. And Endpoint, again, their economy in such a awkward position. Can't feasibly go for this. So it's been a really scrappy half so far. These last 5 rounds have been back and forth. No team has really separated themselves from the other. Oh, they're eyeing up a potential double eco, so with the 2 guns, may as well go for the buy. FAMAS is dropped. Flamesy's going to be dropping down to a deagle. But we saw on Train, give the man any kind of weapon and he can make it work. He was the top fragger on Train by a considerable margin. Was phenomenal, honestly. Don't put it past him to force some mayhem, some havoc. Movistar lining up some grenades. HE toss straight into Monster. Does wing Surreal and chips him down to 81. Replenishing the smoke into Monster to stop the push coming in. Flashbang tossed in towards the pillar side, but they're not going to push behind that from short. Movistar are playing with the idea that they may be hitting B, but they're not doing it outright, so maybe hoping that Endpoint trial off a couple of players and retreat across back to the A side. Thing is though, Endpoint have bitten down on this hard. They have to go for a stack anyway because it's a gamble play with their lack of weaponry and lack of utility. And Movistar may be walking into that trap. They are now fleeing across one player. So 3 players still stacked on B. Good crossfires established. They've already got first blood. 40 seconds to go. And a second kill comes down. It could be a third if the repeat comes in from Larson. And he is a goner. Surreal does not miss out on this chance. Bomb gets picked up alongside the AWP. Steel caught a glimpse of a low, weakened Surreal, who doesn't need to re-peek on low HP. He knows in a 2v4, in fact in a 2v5, pardon me, there is no need when your economy is low to go aggressively and get greedy. They can pick up an AK on Flame Z, and that's going to be more than good enough. Movistar saving the AK and the AWP into an awkward position themselves, and Flame Z goes a bit too aggressive and gets punished. Mighty Max at least though can retrieve the AK from his corpse. So, timeout has been implemented. Movistar trying to rack together some ideas as to where to go from here. With their 2 save weapons, they can purchase a Galil alongside it. Not sure what Shox is going to be dropping down to. He's only got $1,900. So, I think a Deagle was dropped for him. Indeed it was. To allow him a few more grenades at his disclosure to use however he sees fit. Seems like a lot of tendencies to hitting this B side. I'm not sure if Endpoint have done their homework or not, but like they are definitely up to the task. Larson missing out on the shot. The leaning stack of T's. He's like, guys, let me fucking go. Let me out of here. I would be so tilted if I'm... He was just stuck. Nearly ends up dying as a result of that. I bet he'd have been so angry. 2 HP, just fuming. The stack was good. He had the chance. He missed his shots. That's going to be even more of a detrimental moment as far as he's concerned. But then trying to escape and just not being able to move and getting double dinked down to 2 HP. Oh, man. No, that's Steel's actual crosshair, dude. Like, that's actually his crosshair. It's not a glitch. The man, he likes a big, thick crosshair, it seems. Less than 30 seconds. Movistar. Oh, the timing again. Flames, he's putting on a clinical performance in this best of 3, and it's 2 more kills to his name. It could be a third. The smoke has a slight gap in it, and Flames, he runs out of bullets and health. They'll be disappointed with that outcome, and so will Crucial. With 10 seconds to go, it seems like Endpoint will concede this round, barring a miracle play from Mighty Max. Aggression up, takes a bit of nade damage. Next bullet could very well end this round. Alex down to 31 HP. And only 2 bullets in the magazine. 7 bullets in the magazine for Mighty Max. A molly, a flash. Utility at disposal of Max, but where does he throw it? Oh, he's guessed wrong. And that's going to be the round. More than likely. Alex just needs to peek. There you have it. And both bullets connect. Movistar take the round. And a 4K for Alex. Turning the tides. And after a tactical timeout was deployed, it has proven to be fruitful. Endpoint can buy again. But when Flamesy goes out through bathroom and gets those 2 kills and nearly a third, that should have been the round falling into place. It should have been the 5-2. The T's moving into position in the connector. Beautiful 1D, and Alex with a spray transfer, running out of bullets, but still carves out the heads of Romin and Flamesy. Solid work. Important that he gets both as well, because if he goes down, that's a 2-for-1 trade in favor of Endpoint, and they can pick up those weapons in connector. That would have been some assault rifles in play for the CTs, alongside their M4 Scout and Deagle. Plus a player advantage. Even these rounds that Movistar are winning, they're having to fight each and every centimeter of the map. Alex tossing in Molotov. There is a player stuck. The back of the site. That's surreal. He gets 2 for his trouble somehow. I'm not entirely sure how that just happened. Crucial. No dice with the scout. Not going to be connecting headshots. Sombra is so angry, he spelled angry wrong. Well, that's a thing. For you guys asking if the winner of this game qualifies, no, this is the upper bracket quarterfinals. So they still have some distance to travel before they qualify. This doesn't automatically get you to the tournament next month. Yeah, this is the Movistar's choice. If you do exclamation maps, it will let you know who picked which map. A freebie of a bomb to Movistar. Endpoint, though, will be seeing this pretty consistent push towards B. It has definitely been the side that Movistar preferred. I'm not entirely sure what is going on and how the hell the CTs are getting this many kills with USPs. Movistar, please stop. That is significant damage that's just been inflicted across with USPs of all guns. That's weapons and Kevlar that has to be replenished needlessly. They still sit on a fair mound of weaponry, so it's not really the end of the world, but a confidence boost as well on the side of Endpoint. Aggression into connector for Robin. At least flirting with the idea. Good shot from Crucial, but it's just the leg that is carved out from Steel. He drops to 17 HP. See those frustrating stabs in the air from Crucial's perspective. He knows it could have been a kill. That really should have been a kill. Steel had a grenade out. Still gets fragged, though, on the second time of asking. He was the weakened player that Crucial drilled before. Good flashbang in from Flamesy. Excellent teamwork on Endpoint. The Riders are pushed back, but they still have enough entry fragging power to make this work. Mopaw's tagged down to 28, but they still get the entry they were looking for. Mighty Max pushed at the back of the site, waiting for the troops to arrive. Has Flamesy helping him out as well. They're okay giving up the plant as long as they convert the retake. Alex with one. Mopaw's also chips in for a second. 7 HP left on Alex. A bullet anywhere on him, and he's a goner. And they have an AWP and an M4 to put it down, but Alex is still alive, still kicking, and still somehow, someway keeping them in this round, but not for much longer. Flamesy silences him, but the damage has been done. Look at that economy from Endpoint. It forces Surreal onto an MP9 just to get full grenades. Mighty Max down to a UMP. Robin, MP9. They do save the AWP. But that is the nightmare coming to fruition, courtesy of Alex putting on a clinic at the end. He's on 17 kills, by the way. We're moving into round 11. He's already on 17. SMGs are ripping out and tearing through the oncoming terrorists. The AWP now in position, but Crucial was spoilt for choice. Does he look at Connector? Does he watch for the short pipe? In doing so, he did neither. And he's been found in a frag, but Flamesy, the timing on that boost was a chef's kiss. Delicious. And Endpoint now favorites to take this 6-5 lead. Steals Crosshair every time it switches to him. It just really catches my eye for all the wrong reasons. Even the color's a bit odd. Like, does anyone use orange? Does anyone in chat use orange for their crosshair? I'm genuinely curious. Well, that orange, big, thick crosshair will not be playing any further part in this round, at least. And our Mopos 1 versus 4 with his AK-47 with the control of the bomb gets the first. Does get dinked though. Drops to 35. Smoke onto the site. We'll try and draw the CTs out into the open, but there's the spray. AK picked up, M4 picked up, and they retain the AWP on top of it, and the funds for Movistar are in the bin. Makes you think, man, like if Alex wasn't performing this well, how much trouble they'd be in. I mean, to put it in perspective, right? Just some quick maths. So there's 17 kills between the rest of his teammates. Alex, by himself, equals everybody else on his team. Now, if that isn't a carry, I don't know what is. Speaking of Alex, he is the first to run straight into the site. And of course he gets a kill, because why wouldn't he? And with these pistols, some excellent spray transfer and aim adjustment from Surreal have navigated their way without too much alarm. Many casualties through the eco round, but now they have AKs to contend with. See, this is why I don't pay attention to chat, Robin. Not Robin, sorry, Tobin. Because I thought it was Flames, and I was calling him Flames, and someone in chat said, it's pronounced Flamesy. Like, this is why I should never pay attention to chat. Absolute rats. It is Flames. I thought it was, you know. Could one of the mods amend the map's command, please? For the actual score. I think it was 16-6. So, Flames. Never listen to Twitch chat. Peeking down on the short banana side. Robin. They nearly lined up for double headshots. Doesn't matter. He gets them both down anyway. Now Flames comes in. Crucial. That shot was pixel perfect. As is the round. Endpoint cruised to an 8-5 lead, and there were a couple moments where Movistar looked like they were about to really take over this map and make it theirs, but they've been put back to earth with a bang. You use orange? Of course you do, Otter. I knew you were wrong, mate. I knew it. I feel like orange just blends into too many backgrounds, man. Like, it blends into the maps like Dust. Overpass. This is some nice pistol work. It may not end up mattering a great deal in terms of the round and how it comes down, but Flames good spray for his third. Good effort from Movistar, really, with the Tech 9s to get a few kills in there and actually put the pressure in. Like, I respect it. Unfortunately, though, it may just fall on deaf ears. Because they still find themselves 9-5 behind, at least in the last round of the half. They're going to have a really solid buy to really work behind, but Again, it's looking a little bit ominous. Mopos won't be having any further part in this half. Hold, courtesy of Crucial's AWP. That sniper shot rings out. Could be double digits. It could spell some demise on Movistar. Smoke towards the other side from Crucial. Now realizes that he needs to turn his attention elsewhere. And as the T's come on, spill onto the site. He's missing a couple of shots that normally he would be landing. But he's still alive. Good shot onto Alex. Oh, beautiful shot onto Steel as well. There we go. That's more like the Crucial that we know. And then, of course, he goes on to miss the easier of the shots. But it doesn't matter. The P250, his trusty sidearm, gets Endpoint across the finish line first to 10. They will lead 10-5. And now they move across to the T half. And Movistar, again, pretty desperately need this pistol. The way it is pronounced Flamesy. What? Why am I being told different things? I want to respect the guy and give him his real name. If it's Flamesy, then okay. You guys are ridiculous, man. Right, Endpoint. 6 rounds away from securing their spot in the upper bracket semi-finals and sending the Riders down to the lower brackets. Mopos will be pressed upon. It's going to be post-plant, but he can't even get a kill. You thought they were going to push in. Steel now with the P2000 at range. Can't put enough bullets into heads, and he will be sent out the same way. Bomb planted in an awkward position now for the T's. And as they look over from Heaven's side, Flamesy has been bested. And now Larson actually could clutch this. He's going to stick onto the side. He's going for the full defuse. They need to get Mighty Max in here right now, and he steals it from underneath the Endpoint. He just sticks onto the defusal. And Mighty Max looking a little bit awkward on his approach. Brutal finalizing moments to that round. That's what the Riders were looking for, at least. It does keep them just about alive. They have 4 MP9s and an M4, considering there's an AK and Galil's in play, and the first kill has gone the way of Endpoint. Looking a little bit ominous, and another kill. Larson can't dart back towards the site in time. Mopwa standing up. Good incendiary put down. Second frag goes his way. He's looking to churn and grind out the kills wherever he can. He spots another head, and another kill goes the way of Mopos. The Spanish player really coming alive when it counts and doing enough damage to Surreal. And then the fourth, the quad for Mopaz in a round that looked like it was just too far gone. After Crucial comes out with 2 entries. But the MP9 too strong. Movistar Riders 7-10. Closing that gap. 3 more to go before they get to equality. Oof, that's rough. It is basically a throwaway round, but still, Endpoint just getting slaughtered through the smoke. And even though it's a throwaway round for Movistar, the other aspect of that is it's a round... Sorry, from Endpoint, I should say. It's a round where Movistar are looking to build their economy. So the fact that you get those kills through the smoke, you basically put this round out of contention already. And it's looking like you don't concede a single player is just excellent news. Across the board, it is excellent. Because now you can start to see some of these players build up to $2,000 or $3,000. Have a bit of a buffer. Some savings. They don't even have to upgrade any of these guns in the next round. They're getting kills with SMGs, which is excellent as well. So they're looking good. This is pretty much all the boxes that they needed to tick to get back into this match have been met and then some. And you just go back to that full-on defuse in the second pistol round and think what could have been for Endpoint if they do convert that round that should be theirs. We'll be looking at an entirely different ball game right here. Mate, these MP9s in the hands of Movistar have been like sniper rifles. What the hell's going on? Been unbelievable. Alex now holding the lightning connector. Goes down to the hands of Robin. Not before he quells yet another Endpoint player. Austin's position here is so huge as well. So much information gathered. It allows him to stack a little bit more top heavy towards the B side. Shocks! How has he survived and got the kill? That's absolutely ridiculous. I can only assume from Robin's perspective, he probably thought the kill was already his and stopped shooting. I don't know. I'm clutching at straws to explain what the hell just happened there. But now Endpoint 2v3. 2 players low. Only a flashbang between the 2 of them. Endpoint in a good position to get another clutch. Perfect flashbang tossed in. Surreal entirely blind. Molotov will force Flamesy out into the open. Does deliver the first kill. Still full HP. This is clutchable. This is doable for him. But the smoke is so good. And he feels compelled to go aggressively, and in doing so gives up his side to Shocks. But again, you go back to that play from Robin. If Shocks gets dealt with as he should, that entire round shapes up differently. It does feel like Endpoint may be their own worst enemies at this stage. Another buy-in for Endpoint. More aggression from Shocks, landing extra headshots. It just seems like this guy's really woken up. We saw in the first map he had an incredibly slow start and train. Was a little bit absent, but towards the end he picked it up significantly. Oh, Flamesy, that AK-47 is crisp, but into the head of Alex. Alongside Mopaz, single-handedly cracks open the bomb site, allows his teammates to get the plant down. He has been so good today. If you didn't see Train, by the way, he landed mid to high 20s, and the game ended 16-6. He was having a hell of a match. Absolutely absurd player. And it looks like he's showing up where it counts here on Overpass 2. Movistar, though, not to be taken lightly. Endpoint want to try and save onto as many of these guns as possible. Having a quick glance at their economy, it's not exactly great, is it? They drop a couple of AKs across the Surreal and Crucial, and they should be good to go. They can't afford an AWP, which will be a bit of a sad state of affairs for Crucial, who would like to pick it up. But yeah, Flamesy, 25 kills. How much ADR does he have? 137 ADR as well. Jesus. Slow and steady out the blocks are Endpoint. Apart from Flames, again, straight through Monster. The ball's on the guy. They just push straight out here and have zero respect for the other team. He's getting so much information for his teammates right now. Once he decides to take this shot, he will have it pretty much dead to rights. The only thing saving the player on sandbags is on the wrong side of it. But the barrel of that gun's still sticking through. And Flamesy is waiting for that second player to show their hand, but they're both on short. Now he shows his hand and finds the frag. And Larson goes down alongside his teammate. Crucial dips in. It's not just the kill that Flamesy gets, it's the information he can pass to the rest of his team. Crucial, big AWP shot, lands onto Alex. An Endpoint looking good for another one. Steel and Mopons, last remaining CTs. Post plant now coming into play. He just walks straight out onto B site. I'm not sure if that's just like a gut play from him or if it was a preordained call from Max or somebody else on Endpoint to try and make the most of that. Maybe this is a read that they've made from Movistar, assuming that they wouldn't be watching Monster early on.
Terrorists win.
Tactical timeout has been called for the Riders trying to muster together some ideas. Because things have certainly not paid out the way they were hoping for on their choice of map on CT side. They have been bullied, battered, bruised, and bested almost at every turn. And in truth, if we're being honest, a couple of their rounds on this half have basically been through Endpoint's mistakes. Here we go. What is the tactical timeout going to show? Do the Riders have an ace up their sleeve? And they turn the tides of how this game has gone against Endpoint? Let's find out. Flamesy this time. Aggressive, but through short pipe. Playing alone on this side of the map. Will be found and fragged by Shocks. Now, it doesn't really give the Riders a huge amount of intel. You can see them tossing grenades out, assuming that maybe it would be a fast B hit, but that's not the case. This is leaving Steel in a bit of an awkward position. You can see he's perched up very aggressively by himself, and it's not like there's a secondary player watching from the boxes. If he gets white beats, he's going to go down, and there's not really any way of converting back for the CTs. Now they're going to draw out a player from B towards A, and this is all off the back of Flamesy's positioning. The amount of respect that the Riders are showing for him. Molly put down onto the entrance of the site, but it's not going to matter. Flashbang tossed in, it's good. And they line up for Mopoz, who nearly sprays them all out. Surreal may burn alive. 5 HP separates him. And an early bath in the round. But Shox was quick to rotate up through connector. And will shut him down in the back with the M4. Even though Endpoint did concede the round, they have kept the economy of the Movistar riders honest. They have kept it arm's reach. Another tactical timeout has been called. The 16 ADR thing, by the way, just as a heads up. But the ADR resets at halftime. It's kind of like a bug with whatever client they're using. I'm not sure if it's like ESEA or if it's something else. But it resets the ADR at halftime. So just because it says someone's on like 13 ADR doesn't mean they actually are. That just means for this half. Grenades exchange. Steel did get singed by that Molotov, and I'm pretty certain that Endpoint heard it. But judging from their positions, they haven't. They line up for him. Steel, super aggressive through the smoke. Now, I thought they heard him get tagged by that Molotov, and so therefore they would know there was a player connector. I don't know if they just assumed he wouldn't push through the smoke. None of that really matters now. Flamesy has to be the spearhead of the charge. And he shivs Mopoz. Crucial, watching for the flank through Alex on connector. We'll silence him and take us down to a 3-on-3. Steel towing his way back onto the site. And Larson giving them overwatch with the AWP. I thought he was in heaven, but actually he's dropped down into graffiti instead. And with 50 seconds to go, if Endpoint just bide their time and wait here, eventually they may get the timing on Movistar back rotating towards the A site. Because there's enough time to justify this all being a fake. And in doing so, it effectively becomes a 2v3, and it's going to be Larson. He's been given the task, okay, you need to watch A. Because this could still be an A play. And now Shox realizes that isn't the case. He gets one, but Flames straight through with one of his own. And there's a second, and it all falls upon Larson. Molotov designated straight to his person, and Crucial flicks across to Larson. Again, Flamesy with the big impact kills. And he is one shy of 30. In this series, considering the first map finished 16-6, he's not far off dropping 60 in this series, guys. That is absolutely insane from Flamesy. Can the man from Israel land his 30th kill as he waits for a potential oncoming torrent of CTs? No one is deciding to press forward, and Larson, it's the first time that the riders have used that position, but it's one that often goes checked. You typically put someone on tree if you have another player on flower bed to try and cause a distraction. Just putting someone on tree by themselves, they are susceptible to getting checked and fragged pretty comfortably in the end. A wide swinging Steel has been dealt with accordingly, as will Alex. Peeking Surreal 1 by 1 typically will not bode well. And 2 kills fall into his hands. Shox and Mopoz have fully bought into this round. It's just the Eagles, but could have potentially traded across to a Crucial AWP had he have fallen. Post plants. Ooh, that's a spicy headshot. They do get the AWP finally. Oh, but they won't take it out the round. And Flamesy, what a frag, what a one-tap to land a 30th kill, by the way. This guy is one hell of a pickup. Shocks, though, showing that he is capable of doing very much the same and tries to sneak an AK out. Will be the gun runner for Movistar Riders. Doesn't change the fact this is 14-10, however. Doesn't change the fact that the Riders is still trailing by one map and 2 rounds away from losing this match. Been a rough day for Larson on Overpass. He was one of their better players on Train. He hasn't really been churning through the gears on Overpass. Good timing for Shocks, but Surreal straight back in with another one. Shocks had the right idea. Actually nearly drilled him through the smoke, but instead it's him that falls through the smoke. Now Movistar don't really have anything in reserve in terms of weaponry. Just Deagle. Not really close enough to justify picking up either of the guns. And Flamesy with a 31st kill. Could become more. Alex now snaking and shimmering his way up through the ladder. But Flamesy's already out of there. Molotov down, has the right call, the right idea. And a Glock headshot as well. Tosses the AK-47 away, not allowing the CTs to get their grubby hands on it. And it's looking like 5 match points will be falling under wraps for Endpoint. This is the scoreline that many would have expected, a 2-0. Last round, potentially, of the matchup. We'll see, once again, no AWP in play. Larson is forced into an M4. Those woes continue. The final curtain be coming down. Surreal taking hefty damage. Still alive. And Endpoint spill out onto short B side. Mopaz watching multiple angles by himself, which is surprising considering how many players are down here and situated on B. There's 4 of them in total, and Crucial's going to bag himself the first. Mopaz still in position, sees the boost, deals with it with bullets. And the smoke down to allow him a little bit of safe passage back towards water. Decides against it. I think he realizes that his days may be numbered on the B side, but Robin has been crushed. Point still weighing up their options. Do they want to fully invest behind this B hit? They still have time to sell a fake. Max is getting some free wiggle room out towards the site. Surreal's going to be going in first. He is a low player. Absorbs some of those bullets. But the second player had a grenade out, so couldn't really make the most of it. Crucial, though, springs into action with an AWP shot. 2v3, 20 seconds to play with. Smokes being put down alongside Molotovs. And Mighty Max goes for the plant in the smoke, but Mopaz is a step ahead. He knows what's coming up. And that final curtain does come down, but it's not for Movistar Riders, it's for Endpoint. And now they will be able to buy back in, but this is where some players will start to feel the pinch economically. In fact, pretty much the entire team will. They're spending all of their pennies, all of their dollars. A golden opportunity for Movistar Riders, for the CTs to battle back and bounce into this game. That's a rough start to the round, though. HE to the forehead of Alex, and he will get dropped down. Shock's also low. Crucial looking up onto Balloon, spots Larson, tags him down to 1 HP. Through the wall, so nearly drops, and even when Larson can pick up the up, he still gets wrecked round corners. I'm starting to feel sorry for the guy. Excellent entry from Surreal. That cracks open A site nicely, and it may force away some trades, but have a look at this play from Mopoz. He's getting round the back of the T's. He knows this isn't A. It stands to reason it won't be A. Now, they could have gone through connector. That's the one thing that may be in the back of his mind, but he has so many opponents to pick from. Oh no, Mopoz! He could have had this one down instantly, but instead whiffed a few bullets. It still should go the way of the Riders, though. It should still be theirs, but Surreal with another entry, and now Mopoz with 15 seconds to go has to somehow try and hold on for dear life. He knows he's going to be pressed upon from both of the T's, using that smoke to his advantage. Time itself is working against him. 5 seconds to go. He tries to run away. He survives. Just about. 2 seconds. He's going to live on 12 HP. And the Riders so nearly throwing that round away. It's fitting that Mopoz gets his redemption after whiffing hard. He could have had 2 or 3 frags. Instead, he just gets the one, but he does drop the bomb alongside it. And that was the pivotal moment. Endpoint fully forced up. 2 AKs and 3 Deagles. As Rocket said, the winner of this game does play against North in the upper brackets semi-finals. Excellent spray from Mopoz. Just what you'd like to see from Movistar Riders. Something that we haven't really seen a great deal of them so far, and that's calm. Being calm under pressure. Under heavy duress. They still have Flamesy left, though. And whenever this guy's alive, I just feel like anything might be possible. Robin has certainly not been slumping today either. He's had some exquisite shots on train. Hasn't really been required as much here on Overpass. You have the centralized positions of Connector, but the CTs know it. And they're peering in with Larson, who will not miss his shots. Down goes Flamesy, down goes Robin. Movistar Riders move one step closer. Keep in mind that was a force buy. So Endpoint will be into an eco. And we will likely be going the distance. So with these pistols, some aggression will take shape. No one's home in that smoke Endpoint, as you're about to find out when it clears. How come the T's now into middle, taking some control over bathrooms. They have no grenades alongside their lack of weapons. But will have to be some pretty raw entries with these deagles, you have to feel. Robin and Surreal could be the players to do just that and supply them. This is where the massacre should start to come into shape. The battlefield has been chosen. And Movistar plant their flag into the ground and refuse to move. We have indeed gone the distance to our 30th round. It could be the final one, but we could be starting off some overtime come the end of this next few minutes. I say few minutes because we're going to have at least one tactical timeout. And why the hell not? We've only seen, I think, 2 or 3 used so far in regulation. Very important moment in this game. Gives us a chance to take a breather and have a look at the scoreboard. We've been speaking quite a bit about how well Flamesy has been playing so far. 32 kills with 100 plus ADR behind his name in this half. I'm pretty sure it's be above 100 in the first half as well. Next is Shox. And we have Alex, and then there's a couple players on 22, which is Surreal and Crucial. So, Flamesy is 8 kills above anybody else on the server. So here we go. Is overtime on the horizon? Or is this Endpoint putting an end to this best of 3? Larson suggests it may be overtime. Crucial. The main AWPer on Endpoint has been put down and exploded by a HE. He got winged earlier on and then finished off. Mighty Max goes looking into bathrooms. He knows that Surreal has long control. Molotov's being put down. Still keeping 2 players on B, but 3-player stack on A. This is looking pretty ominous for Endpoint. They've done nothing to force away a rotation. They must know there's a good chance of them moving onto a site that is stacked. And to make matters worse, they've lost another player. Mighty Max has gone down to the hands of Steel. Surreal with the spray, but whiffs it. Doesn't land it where it counts, and now Flamesy. 1 versus 4. First headshot comes his way. He knows his second player's behind the site, but now an additional player has joined the ranks. There's another one. Falls down to Shox and Mopaz. If there was one player on the server you'd want to be in a 1v4, it is this man. And he's also on for the ace, and he's also picked up a 4th. It's all down to Shox, and Flamesy takes it out the cauldron and just spills it all over Movistar Riders. They're going to take this best of 3 2-0, and the Israeli is on fire right now.